Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a demo using the Natasha Denona mini Zendo palette. So let me just go ahead and start by saying I've always liked this palette. But I knew that because she came out with this mini, I knew that a midi palette was coming out at some point, which is like her 16 pan palette. So I was really holding out and hoping that I would love that palette, because I was immediately drawn to this color story the moment I saw it launch last year. And so I waited, thinking that the bigger palette was going to be a reflection of this one. But again, like the mini retro, the bigger sister palette has nothing to do with this palette. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with that. It may be an unpopular opinion, but I just don't see the big one reflecting its younger sister right here. I was really looking forward to seeing some of those silver cooler tones with a slight green to it, some plums, but it's kind of, she did like this earth, wind, and fire theme. I mean, it worked out for my bank account because this is significantly cheaper, you know, 25 bucks. And I used a gift card to purchase it, so it was no money out of my pocket, which is great. But no, it doesn't have anything to do with the mini palette. I haven't heard any word of this palette like an extension of the Zendo. I know that when she did her video on the retro palette that just launched, she did say that she wasn't done with that, because a big critique was that it didn't look anything like the mini palette, its younger sister, and people were wanting some of those light wearable greens, and so she said that she wasn't done with that whole retro theme. So looks like we are definitely going to be having more retro in our lives. So let me go ahead and tell you what's on my face before we get started. I have my Bare Minerals Original Foundation on my face. I'm shade light number 8. And as a setting powder, I have my Bare Minerals translucent setting powder. And I have my Chanel Soleil de Tan. This is just the original formula. If you have the new formula, please leave me a comment down below. I need to know if it's just as good as the original, because I've had this for like a year and I'm still not done with it. I mean, I've made a giant dent in it, but I've heard that the new ones dry out. So let me know. And on my cheeks, I'm wearing my Tarte blush palette, and this is called the Blush Bazaar palette. It also has 2 highlights in here. I am wearing the blush Authentic and Worthy as my highlight. All right, and for primer, my trusty Bare Minerals Bright and Flawless eyeshadow primer. If you have oily eyelids, highly recommend this. It comes in a ton of shades, so that's why I love it, and it lasts forever. And I do like the packaging. I like how slim and sleek it is. It doesn't take up any space. I digress. Let's get started. So again, I'm going to try to use all of these colors. This is a darker color scheme, so I'm gonna try to do a wearable look, but chances are it's gonna get pretty dark. So who knows? Let's get started. All right, So I have the shade names here. I just lay the box down in order to be able to keep up. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a transition shade, and I am using my It Cosmetics crease brush, and I'm gonna go into the lightest shade in the palette. Actually, no. I'm actually gonna lay this creamy matte shade. This is the lightest shade in the palette. I just realized it's actually probably the color of my skin. So I'm gonna lay this all over the lid to the brow bone. And this shade is called Bare. It is a creamy matte. I'm going in with my It Cosmetics all over shadow brush. I love these brushes because the handles are so long. I got these last year. It was like a back to school brush set from Ulta. If you guys haven't tried the It brushes, they're really, really nice. Highly recommend. So I'm just applying that color all over the lid up to the brow bone. Go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. So I have a mirror over here. I'm thinking of getting the Ricky Skinny mirror. Do any of you guys have that mirror? I'm curious to know. I've heard wonderful things. People rave about it. Because I'm currently using this round mirror that I have here, but sometimes it's not, like the light around it's not always the brightest. Sometimes I need a little bit more. Anyways, that's what this shade looks like. It's literally the color of my skin. Next, I'm gonna go in with my It brush, my It Cosmetics brush that I showed you earlier in the video. This is the crease one. And I am gonna go into the next creamy matte shade in the palette. And this one is called Uncovered. And I'm going to use that as a transition shade. I'm going in with a light hand because look how pigmented that is. I knew this was gonna be pretty dark. This gives me all the fall, winter vibes. Now, I do have to say, much like the Charlotte Tilbury palettes, I find that Natasha Denona's eyeshadows do blend very nicely. They are easy to blend. It doesn't really take a lot of work, which to me, that's how I classify, like in my book, the best eyeshadow formulas. Is how easy are they to blend. If I have to sit there and I have to work at blending, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't have the time. I just don't have the patience. Let me correct myself. A lot of the times, I have the time. I just don't have the patience. Anybody else feel the same way I do? So I went ahead and I used that as the transition shade. Look how pretty that looks. And this is a synthetic brush that I'm using, so. And these It Cosmetic brushes, I mean, compared to like natural haired brushes, I feel like are very affordable. And compared to Real Techniques, I find these to be like my It eyeshadow brushes. I find them to be a little bit more durable and a bit more softer than my Real Techniques. I find that the IT Cosmetic brushes are slightly, they're more expensive, but I always use a coupon and they're always going on sale. So I usually buy them in bundles. All right. Now let's go ahead and dive into, oh my gosh, where do I want to go with this? You guys would think that I would like think about this whole look prior to doing this video. I don't. I literally just sit here and wing it and hope it comes out good. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to that all over shadow brush I was using, and I am wiping that clean on one of my makeup erasers here. And I do want to go into that really pretty, I don't even know if this is a silver or is this a green, or a blue, I can't tell what this is, but it's called Stripped and it's considered a metallic. I want to place that on the outer half of my lid, and let's see how that goes, because this is an interesting shade. I may just put it all over the lid. We'll see. We'll see how this lays down. So just pressing it onto the outer portion of my eyelid. And I'm using a light hand. Okay, this is very silvery. Not really what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. So I'm gonna go back with the crease brush that I used for Uncovered, and I didn't mean to get that all over the crease there. Let's fix that. All right. So I kind of just want to keep this shade on the lid. It's very silvery, but I can't tell if it has like a blue. It has like a blue-green, very subtle blue-green undertone. All right, let's do the same thing to the other eye. Again, I'm not getting too much kick up with the shades that I have used so far. And just keeping that on the outside of the lid, trying not to get that in the crease. I have to say, one of the most unique shades I have in my collection right now is this shade. I really don't own anything like it. And I'm really just tapping my brush in here, which is what I love about Natasha Denona palettes. This palette will last you forever. Like, a little bit goes a long way, truly. All right, next I'm gonna go in with a flat shader brush. This one's extremely thin, as you can see. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And this one is called Daz. It's considered a duochrome. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that inner corner to meet that shade we just put down. I'm really tempted to go in with my finger with this shade, but it's gonna come off way too strong. I want I want it to be soft. It does play nicely with that shade, that silvery shade we just put down. So I'm kind of just blending that, and I'm tapping it so that there is this kind of, you can't tell where they start or where they begin. You know what I mean? And again, I haven't wet any of my brushes. If you want this to be way more intense, use your finger or wet your brush. But I find that I like the option to be able to build this because it's really hard for me to fix it once I've laid down too much product. All right, now with an IT Cosmetics smudger brush, I'm gonna go in to the darkest shade in the palette, and it's this beautiful purple plum. This one is called Stark, and this one is also considered a metallic. So I'm going to apply this to my lash line, and I'm kind of just stamping that on again because I have no idea how crazy this is gonna look. That's really pretty. I can't wait to show you guys swatches of this color. Like, the camera right now isn't doing it justice. Let's go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Just want to make sure it's even. And I'm bringing this halfway to where both of those colors meet. And I did that to both eyes. And again, just stamping my brush into that shade. All right, now I'm going to go in, I'm gonna use again that crease brush that I used for this shade right here, which is Uncovered, in my crease. And I'm gonna use it to just soften out the edges and get rid of the green that I accidentally, like that silvery shade I accidentally got into the crease on this side. I want to try to fix that. And then I'm gonna go in with a clean crease brush. Any crease brush will work. And I'm just going to blend that crease shade that I just laid down. And then with this same crease brush, I am gonna dip into the lightest shade in the palette, which is Bare Creamy Matte. Just a little bit, like that much. There's like hardly anything on my brush. And I'm just gonna use it to kind of highlight the brow bone here. Soften it out, because I feel like we lost a little bit with that crease shade I just laid down. So this is so far what it looks like. Let's go ahead and put on some mascara. I applied some Lash Domination Bare Minerals mascara on my top and bottom lashes, and some Tom Ford Fiber brow gel to my eyebrows. I use the color Espresso, in case you guys were wondering, and this is just black. So let me go ahead. Oh, lips. Almost forgot. I used my Urban Decay lipstick in Naked. This is one of their cream lipsticks. This is like one of their classic colors. So I got mine at Ulta. It was on sale. But I thought it would go really nice with this look. So let me go ahead and show you the eye look. I really like that plum shade as a liner. It's so nice. Let's get into some swatches. So my hand is clean. I don't have any primer on. We're gonna go ahead and dive into these finger swatches. So the first shade we're gonna go into is gonna be the Creamy Matte shade Uncovered. This one right here. And let's go ahead and swatch this one. Look how pretty that is. It is very creamy, and this one really doesn't swatch patchy at all. The next one I want to go into is Daz. This one is considered a duochrome, and that is this shade. Let's go ahead. Oh, look how pretty that looks on the finger. Absolutely gorgeous. That's really, really nice. Honestly, you can use those two colors and be done with it. One, or use it as a one and done shade. The next one is going to be this next shade right here, which is a metallic, and this one is Stripped. This is it's considered a metallic, but the shade is it's so unique. It looks green, it looks blue, it looks silver. I don't know what to make of this shade, but I do like it. I don't have anything like this in my collection. So you guys be the judge. Tell me what you think about that shade. I really like it. The next one we're gonna swatch is the other Creamy Matte in the palette, and this one is called Bare. And this one is a beautiful light pink shade. I'm just making the swatch a little bigger because I am swiping it with my pinky. I want to make it as big as the other swatches, kind of, so you guys can see it better. So here we have Bear. My camera would focus. There we go. So it's a very light, but it does have that nice pink undertone. Now let's move on to the very last shade in the palette, which is the purple shade. This is considered a metallic and it's called Stark. I mean, okay. How beautiful is that metallic? Let me drag it this way because clearly I'm not the best swatcher. Really, really love this palette. And now that I have tried and demoed the 3 little mini palettes I picked up, the question is, which one's my favorite, right? So if I had to rank them, and not that they're, just because I rank them in this order doesn't mean that I don't like these palettes. I obviously really like them, otherwise I would be returning them, guys. I don't keep things that I don't like. I don't get PR, so I pay for all my stuff. And I'm not gonna waste money like that. So I have to say, it's so tough because in okay, let's start with third place. So third place, I'm gonna go ahead and say Mini Star. And that's just because out of the 3, I feel like it's the darkest, and it's one that I feel like I wouldn't really pull out. I'm just cleaning the swatches from the back of my hand. I wouldn't really pull out any other time of the year other than fall. Strictly, I think fall, maybe winter, depending on how I'm feeling that day. But so that one will be third place. Second place, oof, it's between the retro and the Zendo, which is the one we just used now. That's tough. So judging by the looks I just got, I'm gonna go ahead and say that second place would definitely be the mini retro, and Zendo's gonna take that #1 spot because naturally, besides these being colors I gravitate towards, this shade right here is extremely unique to my collection, and I was very surprised by the color. So depending on the way the light hits you and how you look at this color, I know it says it's a metallic, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes it looks silver, sometimes it looks green, sometimes it looks, you know, like a snowy, really light blue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so nice. I feel like you get so much versatility just in one shade. And then this plum shade really surprised me because it looks like it's gonna come out like a very deep purple, but there's actually, I feel like it has a bit of a pink berry undertone to it, and I really like using this as a liner. But I feel like I can also use it to smoke out the crease a little bit if I wanted to add a little bit more dimension there. I don't know. Out of the 3 palettes, little mini palettes I've demoed for you guys, which one do you guys, how do you guys rank them in your collection? Because of course, I'm late to the game. So some of you have probably owned these since the moment they launched. And I'm over here just like, you know, you guys are like, welcome, Isabel. Welcome. We're happy you arrived. When is this dust flying everywhere? Anyway, let me know. How do you rank them in your collection? Which one is your favorite? Is it the same order as mine? Is it different? So considering those 3, the mini star, the mini retro, and the mini Zendo, let me know which one you guys like the most. My objective with these makeup tutorials were really just to show you guys how you can use your Natasha Denona palettes that maybe some of you, I'm not a makeup artist, and so I tend to shy away from things that are super glittery and pigmented, and I just kind of wanted to show you how these, you know, trendy palettes and more bold colors, you can make work for you and use them on an everyday basis, you know, and really get your money's worth out of the makeup that you buy. So that's always the objective in my channel, is really just trying to provide you guys with something very wearable, work friendly, and just something that looks subtle but yet glam at the same time, and that you feel comfortable wearing anywhere, even to the grocery store. I would go like this to the grocery store. I'm not lying. Maybe it may be too much for some of you, but to me, this is a daytime friendly look. All right, you guys, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.